How to run Ubuntu on Windows. You probably know that Ubuntu is Unix or Linux. It's pretty easy to install on Windows. First thing you need to do is go to the Ubuntu site and download it. And once you've downloaded it, you can donate if you want, or not donate. That's up to you. And you'd basically just download an ISO. And once you got your ISO, run the hypervisor. Make sure that your hypervisor is running. So go into your BIOS if you have to, and then make sure to enable a virtualization. This isn't a real BIOS, by the way, just a simulator. Make sure your hypervisor is running in your services. I'm using a Windows hypervisor, but you can use VMware or Parallels or whatever you want to run your operating system. But HyperV is built into Windows or Windows Pro, I guess. So that's the fastest way. And you open up your HyperV manager, and you just want to create a new virtual machine. Put in the name and pick how much memory you want to add. The more memory, the better it performs. And then, of course, you want to add a network adapter. Otherwise, you can't access the internet through your virtual machine. And then pick the hard disk size. And normally, I select install the operating system later. So I made an error because I already tried this once. Make sure you don't create another one with the same name, and then you want to just create the machine and start it up, and it'll connect to Ubuntu, and it won't boot because there's no operating system yet. So you want to insert a disk and choose the ISO that you downloaded from the internet, and then you want to restart your machine. When you restart your machine, it'll boot from the virtual CD-ROM drive, so it'll boot Ubuntu, and it'll take a few seconds to actually start up. And when it does, you'll be presented with two options. So on the left, it'll tell you that you can try Ubuntu, and basically you'll just be running off the disk. On the right, choose install Ubuntu, and you can install some of the cool stuff, and the rest is not too complicated. You can erase the disk. You want to do that, not that it matters. I didn't worry about encryption because the entire computer is encrypted with a BitLocker, so I don't need an encryption within the encryption. Logical Volume Manager allows you to take snapshots of your hard drive and go back. It's like a more advanced version of System Restore. And you want to pick the country and the language and a username and password. And then if you didn't encrypt your whole drive, you can encrypt your home folder, and then it'll install and it'll simultaneously spam you with the various features. And we're gonna skip ahead here. So and then you restart your machine, your virtual machine. So the hypervisor will restart, and you want to remove the installation medium. The only way to really do that is actually to shut your computer off here. So just turn it off and then turn it back on. So now you've got no disk. And boom, you've got Ubuntu. So just log in. Now, if you try to go on the internet, there's no internet. Because this computer doesn't have a network connection. You want to go to your virtual switch manager. You can create a new switch or use an existing one. I'm going to show you how to create a new switch. It's like a network switch basically on your network. So you just create the switch and you pick the adapter where you're getting internet from. In this case, I'm getting internet from my Wi-Fi. So my switch, my virtual switch, will take internet from my Wi-Fi. In this case, I've already got a switch installed, and you can add VLANs too, which is pretty cool. So this switch gets internet from my Wi-Fi, and then if I go back to my Ubuntu settings for my Ubuntu machine, I'm going to tell it to use my switch. I can even add advanced network features like I can pick a MAC address. There's some more security features for networks. We can mirror the ports, so we can have all the traffic directed to the virtual machine. I'm not going to worry about that for our purposes. And you have to shut the machine down to make the changes though. So if we restart the machine and log in again, we're now connected, and the Ubuntu machine doesn't know that it's on Wi-Fi. It thinks that it's physically connected to a network switch because the Windows hypervisor is tricking it. And now we have internet access on Ubuntu. So that's all the basics. I'm going to show you some other settings that you can change after you've created your virtual machine. You can't change them when the machine is running, so you better shut it down. And then go ahead and go to the settings. You can add different hardware to your virtual machine. You can also add encryption, but you can increase or decrease the amount of RAM. You can install processors. You can add more processors. You can't add more processors than your physical computer has, of course. You can use NUMA, which is non-uniform memory architecture, which is good for scalability when you have multiple machines running. You can add multiple virtual hard disk drives. You can even change the location of a hard disk. Well, this could mess things up though. If your hard disk is taking up too much space, you can compact it. Again, we've already seen that we can add different network adapters and connect them to different switches. And that's it. Any questions? Please leave a comment.